You're listening to Satellite Sisters.
What's a satellite sister?
The person you call when the best thing in your life happens or the worst.
The person that gets you up, gets you going, and gets you through.
And every once in a while, changes your mind.
This podcast is part pep talk, part weekly check-in.
Like grabbing coffee with a friend.
Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Satellite Sisterhood.
You're listening to Satellite Sisters. I'm Lian Dolan here in snowy Pasadena, California. I can't wait to talk about the weather this week. I'm a writer and producer, and I'm a weather watcher. Jewel?
Hi, I'm Julie Dolan, and I live in Dallas, Texas. And, yesterday I picked my husband up from a successful colonoscopy, Lian. I'm happy to say,
good.
Where the doctor reminded me that he shouldn't drive or conduct business. Now, you know that. Well, fine. But I made the medical decision that while he might not be able to drive or conduct business, he was cleared to unload the dishwasher.
Glad he got his colonoscopy. Liz?
Hey, this is Liz Dolan. I'm in Santa Monica, California. Yeah, SoCal blizzard. Brr. I've just been home with Hooper here. That's why I conducted the taste test, Lian.
We saw this.
That's right. We're gonna talk about that. I have got a very special invitation this week, so I'm very excited about that. Going to tell you about that, and then Julie, you are leading a discussion on 70s and 80s brands that you think should make a comeback.
Yes. I have a favorite brand that I think should make a comeback, and I hope you do too, sisters. Yeah, it's going to be good.
All right. And then we have a ton of entertaining sisters. We have a lot going on the show. A lot of tidbits, a lot of news bits, tidbits, a lot of tidbits today. We hope you can use some of them. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with all my free time now that I don't have to check my weather app 22 times a day.
Yes.
And announce it.
You enjoy weather, even in the good weather, Lian. You are a weather watcher.
Yes.
I mean, the last
like the
10
drama
days.
of it. You like the drama, and you certainly had drama in Southern California.
Yeah, we had a ton of rain / snow that just did not stop. And now we're having more. It's great for us. We need this moisture. I'll say that. We need this moisture. But it has been dramatic. I loved it.
Yeah, for me, there's something about like the pounding rain. It brings me back to all those years I lived in Portland, and I used to love waking up to the sound of pounding rain. And now when I wake up to the sound of pounding rain, I think, oh my God, I have to walk my dog in that? Something that I never had to do when I lived in Portland, Oregon. So
because you didn't have a dog.
I did not have a dog. Exactly.
Yes, that's it. If people are wondering, Liz didn't walk her dogs. No, she didn't know dogs. She was on the move. She was on the move.
No, you people in Portland or even in any cold, snowy, wet place with your dogs, my heart goes out to you. So instead, I decided to conduct the Great Grilled Cheese Taste Test, sisters.
I know, Liz, we love you because while other people would just sit on their couch and watch TV, you have made a whole branded event right there in your kitchen. Good.
Yeah. Well, I realized it had been a long time since I'd had a really good grilled cheese, and even longer since I had made one. And I saw this recipe in the New York Times cooking section for an apple, caramelized onion, and goat cheese grilled cheese. Doesn't that sound good?
Yes.
And it sounded easy. So I thought, I'm going to make
delicious.
That. But then I clicked through and there was another one for a French onion grilled cheese, which was basically just like the caramelized onions like you have in French onion soup with a different kind of cheese, not the goat cheese. So it was Gruyere in that one, because again, that's what you put on French onion soup. So I conducted a little poll in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group. Which one should I make? And goat cheese did win overwhelmingly, the apple, caramelized onion, and goat cheese. But there were enough votes for the French onion that I could not ignore the French onion people. So Catherine said, while the grill is hot, why not do both? Which, which I agree. Let's see. Jennifer said, that's like asking which of my children do I love most? Yeah. But
wow.
could not choose.
Some strong words there.
You know, our friend Giroux said French onion just because it's French, which I thought was a very compelling argument. So, so, so I did make both on, really now it's been 3 nights in a row because I've been trying to get it right. I gotta say. There were some cosmetic issues with the first night, which with the grilling part. The second night I got the grilling better, but it just wasn't thick the way it was in the
pictures.
the photo.
I mean, I say the same thing to my hairdresser. My hair is just not as thick as in the photo. Okay, carry on.
It just didn't look like the photo. So last night I think I got it closer to being photo ready. But the key, because both of these things use a lot of caramelized onions, is obviously learning to caramelize onions, and which I have done occasionally before, but it's one of those tricky cooking things. You think, well, that's easy. And, it's really not. I'm sorry.
No.
I know it looks easy. And when it's done, it looks like it was easy. But okay, first thing, you carve up like a ton of onions and you end up with like a tablespoonful, right?
Yes.
There's a shrinkage issue with caramelization that I did not really adequately anticipate. So, but then, with Cooking with Liz, I always ask myself, what is the real learning here? What the real learning? And I decided that caramelization is really kind of character revealing. And I may not be cut out to caramelize. I may not be, because there's a level of patience, take your time, just walk away, then come back with caramelization that I just don't know. I'm just not sure that's really me. I don't know if you guys have keys to caramelization, but
it is all about patience and the watchful eye. You can't let it go, because then it will burn. Right. So,
right. But it's low and slow for a long time, like hours. That's, so it does make a grilled cheese sandwich into an all day event. But I caramelize, I would say at least once a month, maybe twice a month. I'll just caramelize a bunch of onions on a Sunday. And I just I use a little on the stovetop, but then I stick it in the oven, in a nice Dutch oven, and just low and slow, and butter and tons of, occasionally I will add a little balsamic vinegar for some browning, or a little Worcestershire. I don't use any sugar usually, but it takes a long time to make them delicious. Otherwise, they're just sautéed onions.
Exactly. I think that's what I used to make, thinking I was caramelizing.
Yeah, no.
Now that I've caramelized 3 nights in a row, I realize, I have never really done this before. and I was texting with a friend of mine about it after my second night, and she said, caramelized onions, sort of the sourdough bread of the vegetable family. No, and
yes, good analogy.
You think you're caramelizing, but you're not. Anyway, thank you for everyone who voted. I made both of them. I had taste testers, my neighbors, Deborah and Bernard, who I've mentioned before. I mean, they loved both of them, of course. How do you not love it when someone gives you a delicious grilled cheese sandwich? But I think we all landed on the apple, goat cheese, and caramelized one as just more elevated of the two. That's all. Okay. Just the apple really made a big difference. But there you go. That was my Southern California Blizzard grilled cheese taste test.
Well, I hope
Go ahead, Jill.
I was going to say, I hope you can move on from the caramelization realization, Liz. That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not your thing, I would have thought that Gruyere would made a really nice melt.
It did
on the cheese. Yeah, that would have turned me.
You know what? It's funny because Bernard commented on that in his text message back to me he said it didn't look like it had a lot of cheese in it. I guess because it was flat. He was just being nice about how it looked. Didn't look like it had a lot of cheese in it, but it was super cheesy and delicious. So they were both delicious in their own way.
Okay. All right, Liz. Okay, thanks. That's a great report on caramelization. And
it's not like the big news you have, but I do what I can here. Home alone.
Okay. Right. So while Liz was caramelizing, I just got an extraordinary invitation last Friday. For 8 years now, I've been working with an NGO, American Women for International Understanding, on a program called the International Women of Courage. And it's really it's been a fantastically inspiring and satisfying volunteer thing for me to work on. The U.S. Department of State chooses these incredible female leaders from all over the world. They go through a tremendous vetting process. They're nominated by embassies all over the world. They pick, 10 to 12 women who have done incredible things in terms of pro-democracy, freedom of the press, human rights, LGBTQ rights, speaking out against government corruption. Very often they're in peril with their lives. Sometimes they're actually in jail when they win the honor. They're named, they come to the United States. There's a ceremony usually at the State Department, which I've been to before with the Secretary of State. Very often the First Lady attends that. I've been there when Vice President Joe Biden attended the ceremony. And then the women go on an incredible tour of the United States to sort of learn about how other people in their area of expertise are working. And then they come to Los Angeles, where our organization hosts an event for them, the International Women of Courage Celebration. And we're able to give them a we raise funds to give them a grant so they can continue their work. And it's just been this really satisfying, personally, enlightening experience. I've enjoyed meeting these women leaders from all over the world, and we are able to stay in contact with them. We're a small organization. They're real human beings. There's not a lot of boundaries between us. Thanks to social media, we can stay connected and stay engaged in their work. And I've also really enjoyed working with all the tremendous people at the State Department, the women that are in the trenches doing this important diplomatic work day in and day out, and the Department of Education and Cultural Affairs. They all work together. So this year, because the last 2 years, the event the women have been named and we've given them grants, but they haven't been able to come to the United States because of COVID. This year, the First Lady decided, I'd like to host the event at the White House.
Wow.
Very
exciting.
So Friday, I got an invitation to the White House for the event.
Woo-hoo!
And it's next
Dolan.
week. It's next week.
Wow.
I mean, I have to tell you guys, it came in via email. It was unexpected because we knew invitations were coveted this year.
Yeah.
Like there was a short list and we may or may not be on it. And so when the invitation came in, I immediately just teared up. I was so overwhelmed and thrilled. I've never even been to the White House
because you didn't get to go on the family tour where we toured the White House. We left you home.
That's exactly
this
right.
This is your moment, little
This is
sister.
revenge.
This is
Revenge of the youngest sister.
She
Actually
has
invited to the White
achieved it.
House, not just a
Okay.
public tour.
Hey,
Thank you, Julie, for recognizing just the personal redemption I'm
Yes, it
experiencing
is.
at this moment.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
50 years after the family trip, I'm finally getting to go to Washington, D.C. But yes, the event will be at the White House. The First Lady and the Secretary of State will be there. And then there's a reception afterwards. And
Whoa.
I just was completely overwhelmed at first. And then immediately I went to, oh my gosh, what am I going to wear to the White House?
Yes. What are you going to wear to the White House, Lian?
Well, this is where I want to throw it out to the Satellite Sisterhood, because I'm guessing that some of you, we know we have people who work in the government that listen to the show. They've contacted us before. I'm guessing we have an esteemed group here that listen to the
We
show.
do,
Some
yes.
of you have been to the White House for various events. This is a daytime event. On the invitation, Julie, it says business attire.
Okay.
So I'm not, and
But Lian, but your
You don't
business
realize the way you
advice.
conduct business.
I mean, Lian, that's exactly right. We see what you're dressed at for the podcast. That's not going to fly in the green room.
so I can't wear the Jenny Kane cashmere hoodie. I won't be wearing that to the White House. Or my clogs, Julie, don't worry. I won't be wearing clogs. But it says business. And, Washington is a fairly conservative town. I know that.
Very, yes.
So I have a very solid blue dress that I can absolutely wear.
Okay.
I've already checked the weather. As we mentioned, I'm a weather watcher. Immediately put Washington, D.C. on the weather app. I've been checking it every 20 minutes. It looks like it's going to be 40 and cloudy, but not raining, not snowing.
So you're going to need a coat as well.
Yeah.
Really, I bought a coat. I bought a coat already. There's a coat coming. Because all I have is like a puffer coat. I have like a Patagonia puffer coat. I can't wear that to the White House.
No, you cannot.
No, you cannot.
No.
But then my question was, is there a coat check? Like if I wear a coat, do I have to stand around in my coat the whole time?
It's
sure
the White
there's a
House,
coat
Lian.
check at the
I
White
mean,
Do you
House.
think there's a coat?
cold.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a cold climate there. People are
Yeah.
coming into the White House all the time with coats
Yeah.
on.
That's
They
what
don't
I would
want you
think.
standing around with a coat on. They're just
No.
too many things can be hidden under a coat. They're going to make
No.
you take that coat off.
That's
Yeah.
what I figured, but if people know the answer to that, yes or no, coat check. Also, like, can you bring a bag then into the White House, or do they take your bag?
Mm.
I don't know. Don't
We don't
know
know
the
this.
answer to that.
We don't know
I
that.
mean,
Somebody
it
may.
seems like
I assume you can, but I'm sure you go through a magnetometer to get in. So.
I mean, maybe you have to bring one of those clear bags, like in a stadium. Yeah.
I
don't
hope
do
not.
that. Don't do that.
I hope not. I know
Don't bring
Liz
a
has
bag.
one. She's
I
she's
do
been
have
wearing
one.
it.
We
She's
have one.
been-
We used it for our tennis when we go to tennis matches.
Yeah. No, it's good to have one for stadium situations. Liz wears one all the time now. It's
I
concerning.
do. Well, it's just the perfect size. And I like being able to see, do I have my car keys? And I just look at my clear see-through bag and I see that I do. So,
Okay. Wow.
right.
but I would not wear it to the White House, Lian.
No.
So I think
All
your
right.
instincts
And
are
then,
right there.
okay, this is a legit question because nobody in California wears stockings, pantyhose, whatever you want to call them. Nobody
Right.
does anymore to anything. Do people in Washington, D.C., like, do I have to? I
Yes,
don't know what to do. Do
I
they
don't know.
Okay. I'm always shocked, because I worked at National Geographic for many years, which is in Washington, D.C. I was always surprised that Washington, D.C. seemed to be the last place in America where people were wearing pantyhose. They
Okay.
just did.
all right.
That was my sense. I was like, oh, I'll probably wear my spring boots, with my dress. I like
Yeah.
that look. That's how I roll. And I can stand in those boots, but then do I need panty? I guess I do. So
Yeah.
I'm going to bring some, Liz.
I'm not
That's
saying
good.
you have to wear them. I'm
No,
just saying
I'm fine with it.
it's okay.
I'm fine.
I think
am
you
fine with
should
it.
scrutinize some pictures of Dr. Jill Biden. Look at her
Yeah.
legs. That
Oh,
will
she-
be. See,
has
just
great legs.
I'm not that, but see,
Okay.
is she wearing pantyhose or not? And I hope you're not
that's
going to
what you
say
mean.
that to her when you meet her. You have great legs. I've been studying that online.
So, and I guess that sneakers are too informal, right?
Oh
Even
my
though
gosh. Oh,
I'm
whoa,
kidding.
whoa,
I'm
Lian,
don't
kidding.
even, yeah.
I'm
Lian.
kidding.
Now,
Although-
one time when you went to DC for this, when it was held at the State Department,
Mhm.
wasn't there also a giant blizzard? Am I wrong?
Yes.
you-
No, in 2015, I went
Yeah.
and we never went to the events because there was a gigantic blizzard and the whole government was shut down.
Oh, no.
So
Yeah,
we just
okay.
stayed in our hotel room for 3 days. And then the next year I was able to go and bring my son Colin in 2016.
Right.
And that's when we had it at the State Department. It was a full day event. Vice President Biden was there. Then we had the reception in the Ben Franklin room, which is fantastic. And the ladies' room at the State Department is called the Martha Washington Ladies' Room. So that's
Oh.
fantastic.
Totally
So-
worth a visit.
Yeah. So that was exciting, but I haven't been since then. And I haven't even been to DC since then because, COVID and stuff like that. So
It'll
I'm
be
really looking
Yeah,
forward
I
to it.
wonder whether you're going to be able to keep your phone and take pictures.
Right.
while
I don't
you're in
know,
the room.
Jill.
I mean, it seems like there should be some additional protocol information coming your way.
Yeah.
I
Are
don't
we
I
going
would
to be able
think
to
so.
watch this? Is this broadcast in any way? Where can we see it?
Oh, Liz, I'm glad you asked that. Yes, the ceremony from the White House will be broadcast. It's on International Women's Day, which is March 8th, Wednesday, March 8th at 2 p.m. East Coast time, and they are going to live stream it from the White House. Now,
Okay.
I will put the link, spread it around when I have it. We don't actually have a confirmed link yet. So it could be at
Okay.
whitehouse.gov, it could be at state.gov, but I will make sure
Okay.
that it's on all of our social media channels and things like that, or you can just Google it. But yes, we have been told that it will be streamed. Now, you probably won't see me unless I run across the stage, which is not something I'm going to do. So,
Unless they throw you out for being inappropriately dressed or something, which is, as we know, it's not going to happen because you're always appropriate.
I have to say,
For
I did
the
look at that
no
black.
pantyhose.
I looked at, I'm going to get thrown out for no pantyhose. I did look at that black and purple dress from my book
Right.
tour, and I'm like, I just can't wear this one more time. But,
Oh.
we're a nonpartisan group, so we're looking for nonpartisan clothes is what I would say in general.
Yes.
And that's our whole vibe, but I am absolutely thrilled. And next week we're doing a special show we're going to tell you about later in the show. But the week after that, I'll be back with a full report on going to the
Yes.
White House. So
Well,
there you go.
we are so proud of you, Lian.
Thank you.
And
Thank
it is
you.
a great
Thanks.
organization. They do great work. And
Yes.
what a great thrill and honor for you.
Thank you. Julie, one of the favorite activities over there on our Satellite Sisters Facebook group page is planning each other's vacations. Is that correct?
Yes, Lian. We love to do that. We love to talk about where we're going, what we're going to see, what we should eat, the whole bit.
Yeah. I mean, the Satellite Sisterhood, they're good. They have a lot of expertise, but we have exciting news. We have a new sponsor that has real expertise, Voya Travel. With Voya Travel, you can search for your dream vacation from one of the many top travel companies that they're partnered with. So imagine a super easy online search, but then on top of that, you get expertise and personalized service of an independent vacation planner. So here's where it gets better than just going to the Satellite Sisters vacation page, Jewel, because you can secure exclusive deals and extras so you get more out of every vacation. Have you been over there?
Yeah, Lian, I thought they had some great deals, and I like those exclusive savings.
It's really makes a big difference. I know my dream cruise is one of those Christmas market cruises down the Danube on Amur waterways. So
Yeah.
I've spent a good portion of the last week over at a Voya Travel website, just dreaming about going on that cruise. And I know the Satellite Sisterhood is going to love having access to this expertise. So here's what you do. If you want to discover your dream cruise, tour, or vacation, head on over to avoyatravel.com, avoyatravel.com. And Avoya Travel is spelled Avoya, avoyatravel.com. Thanks, Voya Travel, for being part of the Satellite Sisterhood. Liz, we're big believers in the Calm app, right? We love it. We use it for meditation, for sleep stories. What's happening with you in Calm, Liz? Are you calmer? What are you calming on this week?
I've been enjoying the meditations for a long time, but now I'm totally into the soundscapes, which are just delightful. Like those times when you wake up in the middle of the night and maybe need a little help getting back to sleep, boom, soundscape. But then also the daily move, which I think I've talked about before. So start your day with the daily move, which is also searchable by body part, Lian. So you can look for a daily move just for your like shoulders and arms, or daily move for your lower body. I mean, all of my body parts need it, but I enjoy that it's there for me.
Well, Calm can help you stress less, sleep more, and live a happier, healthier life. That's right. You've got meditations, the sleep stories, the music tracks, those daily moves that we are big believers in. Over 100 million people around the world use the Calm app. So even if you've never meditated before, you're going to get the support you need to reduce stress, improve focus, uplift your mood, and maybe exercise that hamstring like Liz Dolan.
Why not? Why not?
This is a great offer that Calm is offering the Satellite Sisterhood. You're going to get a special offer of 40% off a Calm premium subscription. And that's new content every week, full access to the site. So here's what you do. If you want to get calmer, you want to try those daily moves, those soundscapes. For listeners of the show, Calm is offering this exclusive 40% off Calm premium subscription at calm.com/satellite. And Calm is CALM. calm.com/satellite for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/satellite. All right, Julie, you have huge news on brands that are coming back, or a brand coming back.
I'm very excited to tell you this because I was reading in the local paper that Steak and Ale. Do you remember Steak and Ale? Frosty mugs, strip steaks, salad bars. You remember that place?
It was a thing. Yeah.
They are reviving that brand. Okay. They're bringing it back, and they're going to open the first restaurant, the first Steak and Ale restaurant in the Dallas area. Okay. Now cast your minds back, sisters. You remember I was a waitress at Steak and Ale. Okay. And, yes, a long time ago. Now, and I had all the normal stress associated with being a waitress, but at Steak and Ale, it was really very high stakes because each waitress was monitored for how many side orders you sold. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Had to push the onion rings. You had to push the baked potatoes. Okay. They had a chart in the kitchen with your name on it and checks next to it. How many baked potatoes had you sold? How many onion rings, how many
Wow.
green beans. Okay. Pressure, every single meal. And when I'd ask customers, oh, would you like a baked potato with your strip steak? Then they'd say, no. I was like, please, baked potato. Okay. Additionally, and Liz, okay, you're our resident lawyer. I
Yeah.
believe this is against the law. But if you, as a waitress, made any kind of mistake in the order that resulted in having the steak or the product go back into the kitchen, okay, they took
They
that
deducted it.
from my salary. Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
is that allowed, Sister Liz?
No,
Who's
I
the
would
attorney?
disallow that. I mean, I'm not really a lawyer, but I do practice law on the side when we have legal questions. So that's very anti-worker. We would not allow that in the satellite sisterhood. No.
Okay, so you can imagine the trauma of seeing that steak and ale is coming back in my neighborhood.
Wow. We couldn't imagine this kind of trauma when you pitched this story. I thought this was going to be a fun review.
No,
Of,
no. Oh, no, Lian. Oh, no, Lian. So I am going to this restaurant and I plan to go in there and I may order 6 sides. I'm going to get the onion rings. I'm going to get the baked potatoes. I'm going to get the green beans. I'm going to order 2 or 3 desserts. Okay. And then I am going to leave that waitress the biggest, fattest tip that she has had in her life. Okay. Because once a waitress, always
always a waitress. Yes.
Yes. But it did get me thinking about like the 70s and 80s. There were a lot of like brands that are gone now. I mean,
Yeah.
if you had a favorite brand from the 70s or 80s to come back, what would it be?
Mm.
All right. I can't believe you asked this question because this week I had an email in my inbox and it was like my mind was blown. Somebody I hadn't thought about in decades, like coming back with her own shoe line. And that is fitness guru Denise Austin. Oh my gosh. I mean, I know she wasn't technically a brand because people weren't brands in the 80s and 90s when she was starting out in the exercise and fitness biz, but Denise Austin is still going strong. She's going to have her own sneaker line at Easy Spirit, which just first of all, why do I get the Easy Spirit emails? But secondly, go Denise Austin. And do you remember her? I mean, I did a lot of Denise Austin fitness classes on TV when the kids were little and I didn't have childcare.
Well, she was the one that she would be dancing and then she'd have like 2 guys behind her. Is that
yes,
the Denise Austin?
Yes, Denise
Like
Austin,
outside in Hawaii or something?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, she ran a great class for years and she was so fit and so positive and upbeat. And I'm like, wait, Denise Austin still exist? And then I click through, not only she's thriving, not only is she existing, she is thriving in 2023. So good for you, Denise Austin. I mean, you're just a font of positivity. You can go over there, Liz, for $17.99 a month. You can get all the Denise Austin you need. She's like a channel now. She's going to give you advice on food and makeup tips and mantras, whatever you need. Denise Austin's got it. So I'm glad she's back, Jill. Speaking of that.
Okay.
Well, I was just thinking that I wanted to bring back Esprit. Remember Esprit?
Yeah.
Does that still exist?
Yes.
That was just
There are a few
cool and
stores around, but
simple. I would like to see Esprit have a huge, I even like saying it, Esprit. It's nice. It's nice.
yeah.
Julie,
and you know what? Remember, Liz, they were really the first brand that embraced diversity. When you
Yes.
think about their ad campaigns, they were
Right.
so far ahead
Mhm.
of
Yes.
the curve
Yeah.
on
it
who
was
they
like
used.
Esprit and
Yep.
Benetton.
And
Remember
Benetton.
United Colors of
Yep, yep.
Benetton?
Yep.
And Esprit was also very environmentally sensitive right from the
Yeah.
very beginning.
Yeah.
So come back, Esprit. We're ready for you.
Yeah.
I would,
Good
I
one.
mean, I know I'm not cool anymore, but I would still buy your stuff. Julie, did you have any other book that you wanted to revive?
Well, of course, in addition to Steak and Ale, Howard Johnson's restaurants. Okay.
Yes.
Do you remember those? Well,
Yes.
did you know, like Howard Johnson's, they were actually decorated by the wealthy socialite decorator, Dorothy Mary Kennicott Parrish, sister Parrish.
Oh, really?
Yes.
She designed the interiors of a hojo?
Designed the interiors of hojos. That's why the waitresses were in aqua, the walls were aqua, they had aqua placemats and the orange roof. She was so far out in head in terms of her design. Don't you remember that? You realize
that was really branding at a whole new level for a restaurant. Yes.
And do you realize that hojos employed the French chefs Pierre Frenet and Jacques Pepin to develop the frozen dishes for hojos? Those came from French. Yes. I mean, I thought it was just fried clams and 28 flavors of ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh no. That was haute cuisine there at Hojo.
Clam strips, yummy.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know.
So are they totally gone? Does that
they're gone? Yeah.
Like
really?
At the bitter end, there was always one still left hanging on in Times Square. Does anyone remember that? It was like the world's worst hojos in Times Square. But it's probably gone now that Times Square has been cleaned up.
But I just think that could come back and it could be so grand. Anyway, it's fun to think about it.
Okay. Well,
What a world we would live in with just Esprit and hojos and Denise Austin. That'd be great.
Okay. All right. So if you're thinking about dealing with the trauma of your career at Steak and Ale Julie by doing something totally different, something that would take you into a whole new world, I'm thinking you might want to consider becoming a Kung Fu Nun. Okay.
What?
I'm not sure you've heard of this group. I got a text from a friend the other day saying, this just in, considering profession of Kung Fu Nun. And she sent me a big news story about these Kung Fu nuns. And, we're always on the lookout for interesting groups of women staying noisy together. So listen to this. So this is a religious order that's been around for 800 years.
Wow.
And, but normally, sisters, like in the monasteries, the women were not allowed to engage in like the philosophic debates, or they were confined, shocker, to cooking and cleaning the monasteries and temples while the men had all the fun. They were even forbidden from activities involving physical exertion. So that's going on for like 800 years. Then these Vietnamese visitors came to a monastery in the Himalayas and introduced these nuns to martial arts. So they had come to the nunnery to learn scriptures and how to play the instruments. And in exchange, they taught the nuns martial arts. And guess what? The nuns dug it. They're totally into martial arts. So they became the Kung Fu nuns. There are now 800 nuns who have been trained in martial arts basics. And then there are 90 of them that are like actual Kung Fu trainers. And now this group, so this is like, when did I say the visitors were? So this has only been like 30 or 40 years. Oh, 2008. Yeah, not even that long. So now not only do the nuns practice Kung Fu, they stop and they educate people in rural parts of Nepal and India about gender equality and the importance of girls. So I'm going to put the story in the show notes because they've also got killer robes. There's some fantastic video. So I just think if you're looking for a total life change or to recover from a bad professional experience, you could do worse than being a Kung Fu nun, but you still have to get up at 3 a.m. for meditation. So, okay. Wow. So that's a deal breaker for me. I can hardly caramelize. I don't think I would really be able to have a lifestyle that started with 3 a.m. meditation. I just want people to consider it. That's all. Consider being a Kung Fu nun.
So Liz, you had a touch of a Zoom dropout there. Did you say they're on the forefront of global warming? Is that it? Climate change?
Teaching people about global climate change.
Wow, incredible.
Do it all. Okay.
Yeah. So they also, every year for the past 20 years, except during the pandemic, Lian, the nuns have cycled 1,250 miles from Kathmandu to Ladakh. So that's super high up in the Himalayas to promote green transportation.
Oh,
doing the job.
They must be really fit.
Yeah, crazy fit. Wow.
Yep. Okay. Just spreading the word.
Great.
Good report, Liz.
All right. Well, maybe Real Simple will feature them on the cover next month, because for the first time ever, Real Simple magazine actually has a cover girl, and it's Kristen Bell, who I like a lot. It's the Game Changers issue. And, I'm trying to save the magazine business one magazine at a time.
Yes,
so I
you
occasionally do magazine roundups. It is smart, Liz. It is smart. I mean, we love magazines. We love them.
It's sort of a 70s or 80s thing.
It is.
Magazines. Yeah.
It is. You're right. That I would just like the whole magazine business to come back the way it used to be in the 70s and 80s. But so this month's Real Simple, I have a few samples from it. So yeah, they've never had a person on the cover. Usually they put like buckets on the cover or like your sock drawer. Like that's usually the cover of Real Simple magazine.
Do you actually get Real Simple in the mail, Lian?
Yes, I do,
thing?
Liz.
Okay. All right, good
Liz,
for you.
I am one woman. I am trying
Doing
to
the
save the
job.
magazine business.
Doing the job.
Okay. So just a sample from this month's Real Simple. And what I like about Real Simple is it's not a great magazine, but I still get it. And that's, I think, what's the most important thing.
Okay.
And they just have a potpourri of things. What did I do with that? So first of all, Kristen Bell, they do a Q&A with her. And I just want to read you one answer. It tells you why I love her. So they asked her, what was your reaction when Real Simple said you were going to be a game changer and be on the cover? And she said, they could have put me on the biggest up and coming losers list for 2023, and I would have been excited. Real Simple was my first magazine subscription as an adult. And by adult, I mean an 18-year-old girl living in New York City. So that's funny.
Oh,
good for her.
good.
She doesn't take herself too seriously. All right. What else should not take themselves too seriously? This idea of a mantra. Okay.
Uh-huh.
They have they have an article here about like mantras you can use yourself. And I have to say, these are some of the stupidest mantras I have ever read.
That's
Not
positive,
not to be
Lian.
too judgy or anything.
Right. Very positive, sister.
I mean, in general, mantras are simple, right? I
Yes.
went right to the source. What does Deepak Chopra say about mantras? And he
Uh-huh.
said, in the westernized world, we use the word mantra to really become like an intention, but it's very different, an intention and a real mantra. The word mantra can be broken down into two parts: man, which means mind, and tra, which means a transport vehicle. So in other words, the mantra is supposed to be an instrument of the mind. You know how Deepak Chopra talks, an
Yeah.
instrument of the mind, a powerful sound or vibration that you can use to enter a deep state of meditation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, right. So that's deep. I use mantras in meditation. I use them in yoga. They're very simple. I'm not going to share mine, but they're not as simple and stupid as this one. How about slow down for the good stuff? What? Like that belongs on like your Pinterest page. All right. That's not.
It's not spiritual enough.
It's
not
not
deep enough.
Not deep enough. It's not, you're not going to enter a deep state of meditation. Or this one, I thought, this is even too hard to say in your head. I love my whole embarrassing self. What?
Oh.
And then this mantra, you've just given up. It's okay. Okay.
Oh, all
All
right.
right. Real simple. Thank you very much. That was a little thought on mantras. And then finally, I know we have cat owners here in the Satellite Sisterhood. So you may be asking yourself, why does my cat sleep on my head? And I can tell you why. Thank you, Real Simple. This is an excellent pet column this month. And did you know that cats, they really like to get close to their owners, their scent. Okay, it's all about the scent. It's very comforting to your cat, your scent. And your pillow is a really concentrated source of that scent because it's your hair and everything that's falling off your head during the middle of the night. And it's very
Drooling.
practical. Yeah, it's very practical for cats. You're tossing and turning in bed, but your head tends to stay kind of straight. So they want to be with their person. And the best place to do that at night without getting kicked is your pillow. Huh. Now,
Okay.
I have to say, if there was a cat on my pillow, I would sneeze for the entirety of the 8 hours. Like that would kill me, a cat on my pillow. But that's why I'm not a cat owner. But cat owners, you can do, if you're not really that into your cat sleeping on your head, you can put a t-shirt you've worn all day in your cat's bed. that might help them.
Oh,
So there you go.
okay.
Thank you, Real Simple. Thank you.
Look at you
Wow.
giving cat tips.
I
I
Lian.
know. Wow.
Well,
I don't
we wanna
know if I
support our
can.
cat owners. We want to
I just don't know if I can follow up from you, Lian,
Okay.
because that was so profound all the way around.
I told you tidbits.
But I did want to just comment or make an observation. You know, there was a lot of information last week about a pilot program. It was the world's largest trial of the 4-day work week. There were 3,000 people in the UK that were participating in, hey, let's see if we can do our jobs in just 4 days rather than 5 days. And guess what? The majority of the people, the supervisors and employees, they liked this arrangement. In fact, 15% of the people said they are never, ever going back to a full-time 5-day-a-week job. Okay.
Mm.
And the key of this is that you are working 32 hours and you're still getting the full pay. Okay. They loved it. They got more sleep. Their stress levels were down. So I was reading all about that. But at the same time, we're getting a lot of local news. Many of our school districts here are considering going to a 4-day school week, mainly because we have a teacher shortage and they're trying to figure out what, how they can resolve that issue. So then I was thinking okay, all the parents are working 4 days a week. All the kids are going to school 4 days a week. So people are going to have 3 days off. But then what are they going to do? Are all the restaurants going to be open? Are the shops open? Are they, you know what I mean?
Is that your question?
Yes. Who is going to be working if everybody is not working? That is my question. Who is going to be working if not?
Okay.
I don't know.
I also have a question about that because I would think, again, not a parent, never been a parent, but if I'm a parent switching from a 5-day work week to a 4-day work week, I would love to be like home alone on that 5th day, right? That should be the day where I get to do whatever I want. But if my kids are also home on the 5th day,
Yes.
what's the point? Isn't that just another kind of work?
Yes.
I don't know. I think you have to keep the kids in school for as long as possible for the parents to have any time at all for themselves. So that's observation number 1. But observation number 2, now this is a TikTok trend, Julie, so you may not be onto this yet. A lot of videos on TikTok now about what they call bare minimum Monday. Have you seen?
No.
I
What is
just saw this, Liz. Explain to people what this is.
Okay.
It made me laugh.
So this is effectively just declaring your own 4-day work week is what this is, Lian. So this is, here's what they decided. I think it's kind of a Gen Z thing that, the hard part about work Monday is that it ruins your Sunday night. Which of course is true. right?
Everybody stresses. Yeah.
Yes,
it's awful.
that Sunday late afternoon anxiety where you start worrying about what you're doing on Monday. So they decided that, well, you wouldn't ruin your Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening if you knew you were hardly going to do any work on Monday, right? Like if you committed in advance to doing the bare minimum on Monday, then you get your Sunday night back. And so it's not just about doing less on Monday, it's about saving Sunday. And I just admire people that think this way. I really do. I admire the youngins that are just going to try to create the world they want to live in. So bare minimum Monday, you can call it that, or you can just give people the day off, whatever. I'm all for it. So
I do feel bad for those parents in the 4-day school weeks. That is complicated. That's complicated. And I don't think you want your son's or daughter's teacher to bare minimum Monday it. That's
that's going to be bad.
But what if you go to a 4-day school week, but the parents are still working 5 days? How is that going to work?
No,
I don't know. No.
It's a terrible situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I don't know about any of this. And it probably should be year round 4 days a week. Maybe that's the solution.
Yeah.
But then,
or that's when you decide to become a Kung Fu Nun.
Yeah. Support for today's Satellite Sisters comes from Jenny Kane. Jenny Kane items are classic, comfortable, and California-inspired clothes. From the cashmere knit sweater you're obsessed with to the incredibly comfortable slippers you never want to take off. With elevated everyday basics and wardrobe essentials, getting dressed and keeping cozy is easier than ever. When it comes to investing in a uniform that will last, we choose Jenny Kane. And for a limited time, Satellite Sisters listeners get 15% off their entire order. Go to jennykane.com and use the code SISTERS to get 15% off. I hear you, Julie. 15% off their cashmere is a great deal.
That is a very good deal, Lian. I can't tell you how much I love my cashmere cocoon sweater. I like to wear it with my jeans. I like to wear it with a skirt, a little simple dress. I put that on and I just go to a different level of cool, but warmth at the same time. I'm cool looking, but then I'm really warm and cozy, which I like.
I know. I have to say, this cashmere hoodie that I've been wearing, well, nonstop since it arrived at my house, because we've been having record cold temperatures here. I'm like, good, keep it cold, because I want to wear this cashmere sweater for the rest of my life. It is lightweight and luxe. It's beautiful. These are core pieces that you can dress up or dress down all season long. And as you said, Jill, the cashmere pairs perfectly with weekends or work days, or just every day. If you're me, just every darn day, you're putting on this cashmere sweater.
It looks really good on you, Lian. I saw it this morning. Yes.
Find your forever pieces at jennykane.com. Satellite Sisters listeners get 15% off your first order when you use code SISTERS at checkout. That's 15% off your order at jennykane.com. And Jenny Kane is spelled JENNI KAYNE. jennykane.com, promo code SISTERS. Treat yourself because you deserve it. Liz, are you enjoying our seasonal dryness? I mean, cooler temps, indoor heating, zero humidity. There is no more water in our skin. Is there, Liz?
This does not happen very often in Southern California, but it's happening, Lian. That's why you got to turn to Osea. Oh my goodness. Without the body butter, where would I be? I do not know. I do not know.
Does your body need a little love this winter? When it comes to replenishing your skin's moisture barrier, yes, we do. Osea is your one-stop shop for clean, nourishing, clinically proven products for both face and body. And they've been making these seaweed-infused products safe for skin and the planet for 26 years. Liz, you mentioned that Undaria algae body butter. We've said it before. We'd like to eat it. That's not what it's for.
No. It's for that moisture barrier that we need.
You know what, Liz, the buttery rich body butter, and that's hard to say, buttery rich body butter, it's clinically proven to hydrate for 72 hours. And can't you feel that? Like when you put it on, the next day, your skin still feels hydrated and it smooths out the look of that crepey skin. Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
No, nobody wants that. I mean, we just love Osea. We love the way it smells. We love their mission of clean, seaweed-based vegan skincare and body care products. They're a family-owned company, and we love our Undaria algae body butter. So if you want to protect your skin from winter dryness with clean, vegan skincare and body care from Osea, here's what you do. Right now, we have a special discount for Satellite Sisters listeners. You're going to get 10% off your first order site-wide with the code SATSisters at OseaMalibu.com. You get free samples with every order, so that's great. You get to try the new products and free shipping on orders over $60. Head over to Osea Malibu, OSEA, OseaMalibu.com, and use code SATSisters for 10% off. Thanks, Osea.
All right, sisters. A couple of weeks ago, I had a lot of fun sharing with you some of the unexpected email we get at the Satellite Sisters email box. This is hello@satellitesisters.com is where you can write to us. And anyone who's ever had a mailbox online for a long time knows that the longer you've been online, just the more full of junk your email gets. Or just things that are like, just too many people are just randomly sending you emails. Like, I would say we've gotten to a point where a third now, I can't read it all because they are in like Chinese characters or things that's not happening, but the ones
Russian, I get a lot of Russian emails. Yeah.
Yeah. The ones that I can decode, I enjoy reading them because first of all, I want to fish out those messages from you, Satellite Sisters and Misters, but then you never know what's going to be in there. So this week's unexpected email of the week is we got invited to register for a Turkey Science and Production Conference in the UK.
Oh,
So,
Wow.
They
That
thought,
sounds.
they thought we'd be interested in that. I'm just putting it out there. Like Turkey Science, not so interesting, but trip to the UK. You just putting it out there. You might want to
Okay.
consider it.
All
There,
right.
there it was at hello@satellitesisters.com.
All right, Liz, that's funny. Well, we could do a whole turkey show around Thanksgiving. Would that be?
Okay.
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
I think we have
focus
some
on-
expertise to bring to that convention. We know a lot about cooking turkeys, don't we,
Turkey
Lian?
science,
Yes. Yes.
All right. Next week we're doing something we usually don't do on Satellite Sisters. We're devoting a whole show to a single topic. I will admit, a friend of mine that I know here, a mom friend from school, wrote an incredible memoir, and I read it ahead of time, and I just thought, wow, this is jaw dropping and so honest. My friend Charlotte Maya wrote a book called Sushi Tuesdays, and it's the story of how she recovered from her husband's death by suicide. One
Wow.
day
Yeah.
he dropped the kids off at soccer practice, and an hour later she came back and there were police standing at her door to tell her what had happened. And so the book is the story of her really honest and tough recovery. She asks a lot of questions. She goes through a lot of things. She has a lot of anger, and she has faith, and she has, she's exhausted. And, death by suicide is just something I don't think any of us can imagine unless we've gone through it before or been touched closely by it. So Charlotte is not only a great writer, she's great talking about this very difficult subject. So we decided, you can't really build anything around that show. We're just going to spend the whole hour talking to Charlotte and taking some of your questions and comments if you want us to. So we're going to record the show this week on Friday. So we've started a thread in the Facebook group. If you want to comment or ask Charlotte a question about her experience, or you can also do it, post that anonymously if you'd like, or you can send us a question or a comment via email. hello@satellitesisters.com is our email address. So that's next week. The name of the memoir is Sushi Tuesdays. It's out today. Charlotte Maya is going to be our guest. So please tune in next week. She's so good at talking about this incredibly difficult subject that I hope that it's helpful for anyone who's experienced this, or people who have just had questions about what it's like to go through. So that's next week on the show.
Good, Lian. That will be it. We're looking forward to doing that.
That's an important conversation.
Yep.
It is. It is. It is.
It is. We want to talk a little bit about entertaining sisters, things that are going on. And I wanted to recommend a TV series that I watched this week. Now, the name of it, pay attention now. Everybody's got to pay attention because this is very, very confusing. The name of this is Fakes, and it's on Amazon Prime. There is another show called Fakes on Netflix, and that is not the show I want to recommend. I want to recommend the one on Amazon Prime, and because this is a thrilling cat and mouse story about Sunny, a brilliant struggling artist who makes a perfect counterfeit Indian banknote and gets involved in the high stakes crime world. It's an 8-episode series. It's set in India with a very good script with the themes of class, poverty, government bureaucracy, corruption. And P.S., the star of the show, Sunny, who's played by the actor Shadid Kapoor, is super handsome. He is.
Okay. Now we're in. All right.
He is a dreamboat counterfeiter. So you want to get into this. Okay. Fakes on Amazon Prime, not Fakes on Netflix, which is about 2 teenage girls making fake IDs. Okay. That is not the same story. Okay.
I put a link in the show notes, Julie, and it's Fakes, and it's also called Farzi, Farzi.
Yes.
So Amazon Prime. Just keep saying that to yourselves. Okay. All right. That's great. Well, my entertainment news comes from the Santa Monica Dog Park, where everything is happening during award season. It's award season. You never know who you're going to bump into at the Santa Monica Dog Park. And last week I bumped into Satellite Sister Terry, who we have mentioned on the show before, because Terry is the next door neighbor of Satellite Sisters accountant and procurement director, Diane. Okay. So I'm at the dog park. I bump into Terry. Terry, unbelievably, has just come back from the Oscar nominee lunch, sisters.
Wow.
Yes.
Very
because-
impressive.
No kidding, because her husband Dick is nominated for Best Sound in Avatar: The Way of Water.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, he's been working.
Wow.
I mean, that movie took like, I don't know, 100 years, 50 years, or like 13 years. So
Yeah.
he spends a lot of his work life in New Zealand where all of that is done. Anyway, so she said it was super fun, very exciting. And the thing she was most excited about is she got to chat with Elvis, the
Austin Butler.
Okay,
Austin
that
Butler.
guy.
Yeah.
How can you not love that guy?
He's
And
cute.
it's an off the record luncheon, so I cannot repeat too much of what she said she talked to other people about. But she said with Austin, he was kind of chatting to her, and she said, "Well, I'm a plus one," meaning like, yeah, I'm just here with my husband. And he said, in that Austin/Elvis voice, "I love plus ones." So
Oh,
that is quite the line. I
Yeah.
hope she pursues that. Yes. Okay.
Anyway, so we all need to embrace our inner plus one, because some people find it appealing, apparently. Okay, one other Oscar related entertainment tip. I think I've recommended this a lot of years recently. The short films in the Oscar nominations, whether it's the documentaries, the animated, or the live action shorts, that's always where you can really win your Oscar pool, because nobody knows what's going on in those categories.
right.
But there is an organization now called Shorts TV that does a whole roundup of Oscar nominated shorts to play in real movie theaters. And so they're out playing around now. Now, they're not everywhere, but I did check a number of cities where I know we have like a dense population of listeners, and it's playing in enough places so that if you're interested in this, you should check it out. I have a link in the show notes. Shorts TV presents the Oscar nominated short films, and it's in all three categories: animated, live action, and documentary. So I just recommend it. It's very entertaining. You can probably find a lot of this stuff online now too, but it's kind of fun to sit in a movie theater and see a series of shorts. And remember, the Academy Awards are, right around the corner, Sunday, March 12th. So you got to get on it. That's my recommendation.
Liz, good tip. I think I actually get the Shorts TV channel. Now that you say it's a
wow.
channel. Yeah. Now I didn't know what it was. It just showed up. But now that I know, I'm going to check it out.
I'm gonna check it out too. Thank you, Liz. Yep.
Okay. All right. And I want to thank EKZC. Whatever that means, I have no idea. We really appreciate it when you give our show reviews, or you can just give us 5 stars if you want. You don't have to write a whole review, but when you do write a review, we really enjoy reading them. And EKZC wrote this review on Apple Podcasts, which of course was close to my heart because I'm such a cook. She wrote, I love listening on Tuesdays while I meal prep and cook a few meals for the week. Listening gets me through with a laugh, and I don't have to drink as much wine to make it bearable. It's cherished time with my sisters, who I call my friends when I'm relaying anything I heard on the show to someone else. I always wanted a sister, and these 3 are perfect. Thank you. I mean,
Nice. Thank you.
makes my
Really
day.
like
That's
that really
Yes.
choked me up a little bit. We are happy to be your sisters, and you're not alone. We've had a lot of listeners confess that they just refer to us as their friends when they're talking to someone who just wouldn't understand their emotional connection to a podcast, to people on a podcast. So thank you to all for whether it's just giving us stars or posting reviews. We really do read and appreciate them.
There are lots of ways to stay connected to Satellite Sisters. We have a newsletter that goes out. The weeks we do the show, Pep Talk goes out. That's how I work my editorial calendar. You can go to satellitesisters.com. That's our website. And you can enter your email. A little page should pop up. Would you like to subscribe to Pep Talk? Just give us your email and you'll get a little Pep Talk in your inbox on Fridays. We have a full complement of social media. I can't say we're great at it, but we have it all. We have all the
We
social
do.
medias you need. @Sat Sisters is our Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. We also have a private group on Facebook, which we'd love you to join. We got some fun new members who really went into detail about how they found us and when they listened. So I'm enjoying people answering the Facebook group questions now, as we talked a little bit about that on the show last week. And again, our website is satellitesisters.com. It's a fully functioning website, people, for which
we always forget to mention it.
I know,
I know.
and it's very first class over there. Yes,
It is. And we pay a real webmaster to do it. It's not some fake website that we spent 12 seconds on. No. And you can listen to the show from the website. The show notes are on the blog posts every week on the website. They're easy to find. So if you want to find that show Julie mentioned that you're going to Netflix for, even though it's an Amazon Prime show, you can go over to the satellitesisters.com website and click on the blog, and you'll find all the show notes there.
Yeah.
Also, the other key thing you'll find there, sponsor links. A big thanks to our sponsors. We're happy to welcome new sponsors in this week's show. It's so important for us, that allows us to do the show. We're very grateful to the sponsors that support the show. And we're very grateful to you when you visit the links we mention. You mentioned you've heard things on Satellite Sisters, or you use the code to purchase things. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Let's see our to-dos for the week. Well, you know what mine is. I mean, I got to get ready to go to the White House.
Yes.
I had to cancel a doctor's appointment yesterday because it was the day I was supposed to go to the White House. And I just was so tempted when I called the doctor's. I can't come to the doctor's because I'm going to the White House. But I did it. I didn't say that.
Okay.
That's an admirable level of humility.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
First of
very
all, you got to find pantyhose, which is no easy thing, sister. I don't even think they make them anymore. So
No.
We don't have those in Southern California.
No, I know.
you're in
You
trouble.
can bring back a 70s brand and have them come in a plastic egg.
Legs. Bring back legs. Where are my legs at? Okay, Jewel, what do you got?
Okay, I have to resolve. I'm learning Spanish this year. I am doing the
I didn't know that.
When did you say that?
I have just been on it since January. I have
good.
Duolingo app. That's the app I use.
Great.
5-minute Spanish lessons every day. And, and it's all about giving me encouragement and stars and flames if I keep going my streak. But then if you miss a day, they are like so passive aggressive. Like,
Right.
You sure you don't have 5 minutes to do your Spanish today?
So I've got to get to a better place because resentment is building up. Okay. And I don't even know how to say resentment in Spanish. So that's what
It's funny. It's like my fitness tracker, Julie, at the end of the day, where it's like, one more 5-minute walk, we'll get all your steps in. Oh, shut up. Like a 5-minute walk on crutches? Is that what you're saying? Hey, no, I don't have 5 minutes left.
Liz, just try the mantra. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
I
It's
love
okay.
my
Thank you.
big, messy, wonderful self.
Well, that
Oh.
isn't true. That is not even true. I'm kidding. Go back to the Calm app and find something that is true. Okay. So my to-do. So last week, because we had last week off, I decided it was the week to get a jump on all my tax preparation and all that kind of
fun.
the paper that just ends up, well, for me anyway, just like big stacks on my desk or in the closet next to my desk. So first you have to pull everything out, right? You have to open everything that you have, statements you haven't been opening all year. You have to open all your statements. You have to create the whole, like the pile of stuff that goes to the shredder.
Open your statements. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Okay.
I prefer to get things online. So if these people insist on mailing things to me,
okay.
yeah. But a lot of people, they just have to mail them. I don't know, legal reasons or something. Anyway, so I have like 2 huge garbage bags full of stuff to take to the shredder. So that is which is a very satisfying task, so I have to do that, but then I have to, everything that I pulled out of my desk in my closet, it's like all over the floor in here. And so now I just have to like put everything away for another year before I have to do this all again. So that's what I'm doing for the rest of this week.
It's okay. Okay.
I hope that Diane Gray, the Satellite Sisters accountant, didn't hear me say any of that. But that's life here in in my office. That's life. That's just the way it rolls.
All right, that's the show for this week. Hey, Julie and Liz, have a great week.
You too,
Lian.
Safe travels.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And don't forget, call your satellite sister.